This is the biggest crisis that we've ever had since I've been coach here. It's really serious stuff. We're not perfect. Our team isn't perfect. Bob and I have definitely made our share of mistakes over the years, but we're going to lean on the experience that we have together, over the last 9 years, and trust that this is the best decision for our team. He is going to come back to practice on Thursday. He's been fined. He will not be suspended. I expect him to play Friday in our last preseason game and on opening night. He broke our trust with this incident, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I think he's earned that, and I think our team feels the same way. Jordan and Draymond got together and had a great discussion that I think will help us move forward. And so after this entire week of everything and just assessing everything, this feels right.
All right, so a lot to unpack from what we heard from Steve Kerr, and who better to do that than my teammates Kendrick, Perkins, and Chiney Ogwumike. Perk, I'm going to start with you here. Steve Kerr said that no suspension and a fine. It felt right for Draymond, but does it feel right for you?
Yeah, it do. You know what? And I know a lot of people would probably say, oh, he needed to get suspended. And we don't know how heavy the fine was. But at the end of the day, look, Draymond Green being away from the team, Steve Kerr saying that, basically Draymond Green has lost the trust of the locker room and the organization, and he has to get that back. I think that hurts more than anything to Draymond Green. And we heard him talk about it. He failed as a leader, and yes, he did. Here's the biggest problem that I have, and this is the problem that they're going to have to fix. Opening night is the ring ceremony for them. That means families are going to be in town. And so how are you going to make this atmosphere feel comfortable? How are you going to make people feel right? How are you going to ease the tension? Because it's going to be tension. I was on the team when two guys didn't like each other and they had disagreements and moms had arguments in locker rooms, in the family rooms and things to that nature. That's another problem that they're going to have to work out internally and that they're going to have to solve. And I think it's going to have to be initiated, and it's unfair by Draymond and Draymond's people to go and make amends with Jordan Poole's people and say, hey, let's make this right.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Steve Kerr alluded to, saying that, hey, this decision to have no suspension and he's going to be back with the team and just have a fine is because Jordan and Draymond were in a conversation that was, given the circumstances, quite productive to get to that outcome, Big Perk. But I absolutely agree with you because, this situation has been like a tidal wave of news for the Warriors organization, something that is very foreign to them. This is a team that we haven't heard situations like this, maybe outside of KD and Draymond, that little rift there, that has affected the public perception of them. So it is a tidal wave of news. The question is the ripple effects. For a team that's trying to defend a championship, for a team that has so many savvy veterans that want to make the most of their time right now, I think it's the ripple of seeing how they, go through the season and like when adversity hits, is this going to be a revert? Like, are they going to be as, connected and have that built-in chemistry that we've come to love and adore from them? Right. But I do think the key, Malika, is them being in the same room, coming to this outcome. And you have to commend Jordan Poole for being the big man in that situation to realize, like, hey, I'm going to forgive you through this, and, not having a suspension is okay with me.
Well, and Steve Kerr did say, right, that any kind of criticism that they get is fair because it's not a clean right or wrong answer to me. And I think this is what you're saying too, Perk and Chiney, is that whatever was the right answer for Jordan Poole, as long as it sat right with him, that's the most important thing. I do want to bring Anscape senior writer Mark Spears, into the conversation here because we heard it. Perk, you said it. We heard Steve Kerr say earlier in the show, Draymond and Jordan met, and that meeting played a role in the determination of him not being suspended. So, Mark, what more can you tell us about that meeting specifically?
Yeah, Poole and Draymond spoke in front of the team a couple days ago, and Poole didn't think it was necessary that Draymond get a suspension. It was put in front of the players whether they thought that Draymond deserved a suspension. And what I was told is that the players weren't comfortable levying that on one of their own teammates. So they wanted management to make that decision. And with that in mind, with what Poole and the teammates thought, the ownership and the front office decided that Green would not be suspended, that there would be an undisclosed fine. But while Green hasn't been suspended, he's been away from the team for over a week now. So in a sense, you could maybe even look at that as a suspension being away. But one key thing I think to point out is Poole's professionalism. He's worried about moving forward, worried about getting that bag, Perk, right? He's about to get that. And so I don't know that these two guys are going to be in San Francisco at a restaurant enjoying clam chowder and some of Napa's best cab anytime soon. But they're definitely going to be professional in trying to win another championship.
Oh, clam chowder sounds delicious. Kerr also said that the plan is for Draymond to play in Golden State's final preseason.
That part hurt.
Okay, I stand corrected because you right. That sounds better. The plan, though, whether it's over gumbo or clam chowder or whatever, is for Draymond to play in the preseason game Friday night. That's against the Nuggets. So what is Draymond's mindset, Mark, as he gets ready for this return?
Well, Draymond's still been in the gym working out at the Chase Center. In fact, the Blazers' practice at Chase Center was pushed back a little bit on Monday because they were told Draymond's working out before they get there. So he's been in there. He was in good shape going into camp. Steve Kerr said he was in good shape going into Japan. So I think he'll be fine physically. I think there is reason to worry about the mental aspect of it. Coming back, how is the crowd going to react? How are the fans going to react on the road? I asked Steve Kerr about that specifically. Is he worried about the fan reaction on the road to Draymond? He goes, Draymond has handled the fans pretty well in the past. So I'm not worried about that at all.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.